Hi, welcome to this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name's Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Saturday, February 3rd, basketball slate. We got a ton of stuff to get into, college and pro. Only 5 NBA games on the slate, but a ton of college to get into before that. So let's get this show rocking and rolling, shall we? So number one team in the country, UConn, going to St. John's. UConn laying 4.5 on the road at St. John's. St. John's and with Rick Pitino have played pretty well so far this season. I mean, they haven't been outstanding, but I think it's, take a couple of years for Pitino to get that right and see how many more sexual harassment suits he can get and all that kind of fun stuff. But on another note, but UConn is I think UConn's one of the few teams that we can probably say right now has a tremendous shot to make the Final Four and maybe win a national championship, but definitely Final Four contender. There's a lot of other stuff up in the air, I think, when it comes to Final Fours on that one. But we do like UConn today. So we're going to lay the 2 in the first half and then minus 4.5 for the game. So UConn's over St. John's. And we're laying the 2 first half and minus 4.5 for the game. Next game we're up on here is going to be, I apologize for that. How about Texas TCU? TCU is one of these teams, even though ranked 25th, I think could really make some noise in the tournament. Good defensively, can make runs, play decent offense. I think they got enough to outlast Texas today, and I definitely like them at home. So we're going to ride Texas Christian. TCU minus 2.5 first half, minus 4.5 for the game. So one more time, TCU over Texas minus 2.5 first half, minus 4.5 for the game. Next game up that we're on, San Diego State, Utah State, unranked team versus ranked team. Unranked team at home favored 5.5. Big number. Maybe a few threes from San Diego State helps this number out. Utah State, though, has played pretty well. Them in New Mexico out in the Mountain West have been pretty strong. New Mexico laid a brain fart earlier this week. But we do love San Diego State in this matchup at home. Utah State having to go the road. So we'll take the unranked team laying the points at home. So San Diego State minus 2.5 first half, minus 5.5 for the game. One more time, San Diego State minus 2.5 first half, minus 5.5 for the game. Next game up, maybe the game of the day. There's probably 2 games of the day. This is one of, or 3. This is the first one of the 3. Houston, Kansas. Excuse me there. First time Houston going to Fog Allen to play the Jayhawks. Now, Kansas has struggled mightily against the number all season long. But let's look back at the history of college basketball. How many times can you name where Kansas was a dog at home? Waiting. Now, they do have brain farts every year, it seems like, at home where they get their doors blown off. TCU last year, I think, beat them by 20. Kentucky's walked in there and beat them as well. I'm not saying Houston can't win this game. There are a lot of paths for Houston to win it. They have more options and more depth than Kansas does. No question about it. Kansas has playing with 3/5 of a lineup for most of the season. It's been pretty strong. You got to give them that part so far. But we're going to take KU at the points. I'm a mouse headed for the cheese in the trap. I understand. It was just too good to pass up. So we caught Kansas actually last night at plus 2.5. So we like that number even better. So a tight game, we feel like we're really, tight game or not, we're really in this. So Kansas plus a half first half, plus 2.5 for the game. So one more time, Kansas against against Houston, plus a half first half, plus 2.5 for the game. But I still love the 1.5. If you want to play the money line, feel free on that one as well, because I think it's a good. I think they're winning the game outright, to be really honest. But if you want to roll money line, I'm right there with you. It looks like money line somewhere around probably even money on that one. Then we're going to get up to next game up, another Big 12 matchup that we like. Oklahoma going to UCF. UCF a 1.5 point dog. Oklahoma has played above their skis so far, I think, so far all season long. I think tournament time, they're one of those teams that's going to be let's say 4 or 5 seed that gets beat in the first round. Is just my feeling on them. UCF, almost everybody that's in the Big 12 Conference, first time they've had to go to UCF has struggled. We're going to continue with that same trend today. We do like UCF plus a half first half over Oklahoma, plus 1.5 for the game. UCF plus a half first half, plus 1.5 for the game. Another Big 12 matchup we're getting to after that is actually going to be BYU, West Virginia. There's a lot of games that is 4 o'clock Phoenix time, 6 o'clock East. Total in that one, 151. If this game was in Provo, I would think the total would be 160 almost, as BYU lights it up at home, struggle a little bit on the road. West Virginia's defense is just a little bit different than most everybody has seen all season long. It's just different. The intensity of their defensive style and everything, I think, really shines out. Therefore, we like the under in this particular matchup. We're going to take the under 72.5 first half, under 152 in a game. So one more time, BYU, West Virginia, under 72.5 total first half, under 152 for the game. Next game up for us is going to be Auburn, Ole Miss. Ole Miss plays extremely well at home. On the road, different story. It's SEC, a lot of home road splits in Kentucky and Tennessee and Auburn. You know, Auburn can be tough. Auburn lost to Alabama when they were a favorite. I just kind of see the same thing today. I think this game's extremely tight, if not an Ole Miss win. If you play the money line here, wouldn't blame you whatsoever. But we do like Ole Miss today. We'll take Ole Miss plus 1.5 first half, plus 3.5 for the game. One more time, Ole Miss plus 1.5 first half, plus 3.5 for the game. So one of the other games of the day, Duke, North Carolina. North Carolina, 4.5-point favorite. The line makes total sense here. North Carolina against Georgia Tech struggled, maybe overlooked them a little bit, having Duke coming up this weekend. North Carolina's 9-0 at home. I get all that. Duke's finally seemed to put it together the last couple games. After some embarrassments, that Virginia Tech game they dominated, I thought, from start to finish. They let Virginia Tech make some runs, yada, 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 but you knew who was going to win that game at the end of the game, and not only that, they were going to win it by double digits. Absolutely stole money from us again. So we're rolling with Duke today. We'll take the points. Duke plus 2.5 first half, Duke plus 4.5 for the game. One more time, Duke plus 2.5 first half, plus 4.5 for the game on that one. I think just Duke's turned it around a little bit on that one. So then the last game of the day that's also probably that pack of three that's phenomenal between Tennessee, Kentucky. So Kentucky probably one of the favorites out there to bet on because they score buckets. Tennessee does play defense, and they play man defense, not little boy defense. So Kentucky, I think, is going to have a lot of contested shots today. I think it's going to be maybe a little bit more difficult for them to score than it has been in the past. Tennessee's real. Now, Tennessee, in my opinion, is one of those teams that's got I wouldn't say a 50-50 shot to make the Final Four, but has an excellent shot. They play good defense, solid all-around play. Offensively, they can put the ball in the bucket, which has been their struggle over the last few years. If you want to play money line here as well, like we are, that's the route we're going. But we love Tennessee today. We think they, I don't say shock Kentucky, but we do like Tennessee. We think they're going to make it happen. So Tennessee money line first half, Tennessee money line for the game. One more time in that one, Tennessee money line first half and money line for the game. Then we'll get into the NBA slate. Like I said, only 5 games. I'll take that back. Only 6 games. But some good ones on the docket. So we'll go, first of all, first game up, Nets at the 76ers. 76ers finally getting back home. Both teams off 76ers off back-to-back on that one. Maxey, of course, puts up the 50-burger. 76ers 3.5-point favorite at home, 233 total. No Embiid. He's going to be out till at least the middle of February, so his MVP shot is over. He's going to miss he will miss the over 17 games because he had the 65 to qualify. So we do like the Nets here today. I think the 76ers kind of shot their wad the other night against the Jazz. On that one, they get back home. I don't think Maxey's going to have 50 against this team. This team plays defense. Not tremendous defense, but plays better defense than what the Jazz do, that's for sure. So we do like the Nets today. We'll take the Nets plus a half first quarter, plus 1.5 first half, plus a half third quarter, plus 3.5 for the game. Mikal Bridges over 22.5 points. Mikal Bridges over 2.5 threes. We're also going to sprinkle a little bit on 4+ threes. And then Tobias Harris under 23.5 points. I understand Embiid's not there, but that point total is starting to get real big for Harris. Under 1.5 threes for Harris as well. Maxey over 1.5 turnovers. That was heavily juiced. It was minus 190 when we grabbed it earlier on DraftKings. 76ers under 117.5 team total. They scored 127 against the Jazz and shot lights out, I thought. So the Nets play a lot better D. I understand they're coming back home, but 118 points I think is a bunch against the Nets, so we'll take the under there on that 76ers. So one more time, Nets 76ers matchup, because there's a lot of bets here. Nets plus a half first quarter, plus 1.5 first half, plus a half third quarter, plus 3.5 for the game. Bridges over 22.5 points, over 2.5 threes. We'll also sprinkle a little bit on 4+ threes. It was plus 200 on FanDuel. Then we'll take Tobias Harris under 23.5 points, under 1.5 threes. Maxey over 1.5 turnovers. 76ers under 117.5 team total in that particular matchup. Next game up, Warriors Hawks. Warriors come off and they took care of business against Memphis. Atlanta has covered 2 games in a row. Ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. First time they've covered back-to-back games all season. Still the worst team against the spread in the NBA. I don't think they're going to cover 3 today. If you want to play, we're playing Warriors money line as well in our mix. I'm not saying the Warriors have got it figured out, but Kuminga, if he continues doing what he's doing, they found the additional piece that they need to really make this thing cook. Draymond Green back. He finally last night he was moving the ball all around. Made a 3 as well, which really helps out that offense when they're not playing 4-on-5. So we love that the Warriors today is probably our favorite game of the mix. But we're going to take the Warriors plus 2. Warriors money line. We're also going to take Warriors plus a half first quarter, plus a half first half, plus a half third quarter. Kuminga over 22.5 points. We don't like it as much as we did when he had 19.5 yesterday. It was our best bet that cashed easily. But even though he only scored, I think he scored 0 or 2 in the first quarter yesterday. But we like the Kuminga over 22.5 points. Draymond Green to make 1 3. Trae Young under 3.5 threes. Draymond Green over 23.5 par. Kuminga over 31.5 par. Trae Young under 48.5 par. We're also going to take Draymond over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. Make sure you do shop this one. There was 15.5 in a lot of places, and then FanDuel had it at 14.5 at a good, and it wasn't heavily juiced. So make sure you check that one out. So one more time, Warriors Hawks. Warriors plus 2. Warriors also money line. Warriors plus a half first quarter, first half, and third quarter. Kuminga over 22.5 points and over 31.5 par. Draymond Green to make 1 3, over 23.5 par, over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. Trae Young under 3.5 threes, as he's had a couple games where he's hit 5 or 6. We think he falls back to normal maybe tonight on that one. Trae Young under 40.5 par on that as well. Next game up, going to be Bulls, Kings. Kings come out, take care of the Pacers last night. Bulls off, so Kings coming off a back-to-back. Bulls coming in fresh. Bulls a 2-point favorite, 229.5. I don't like this Kings team on the road. The Bulls have been kryptonite for us all year. This is one of those tough ones. But the Bulls do make the list. This is a great spot, I think, for the Bulls. So we're right with the Bulls here. Bulls minus a half first quarter, minus a half first half, minus 2 for the game. De'Aaron Fox, this number keeps coming down on his point total. It's down to 24.5, and we're still going to take the under here. Also, De'Aaron Fox under 2.5 threes and over 2.5 turnovers. In that one, Ayo Dosunmu for the Bulls. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name, but good player, though, for the Bulls. They really picked this. This has really worked out well for them. Over 14.5 points, over 1.5 threes, over 22.5 par. And then we also like Sabonis under 41.5 par. I think his rebound prop was 13.5. We probably want to bet that under as well. A little bit harder to rebound, I think, against the Bulls. The Bulls do rebound well, block out well. So maybe he does not get to that. He's going to have, I think, 26, 27 points to get there, and he has not been putting up those kind of point totals as of late. So Sabonis under that 41.5 par on that one. Then we'll get into the game of the night that everybody's talking about because New York media loves the Knicks. I don't blame them. The Knicks, this story, have been fun. But I'm going to tell you right now, they've looked like, DiVincenzo has looked like he's going to be an all-star or something since Randall and OG Anunoby went out. And the Lakers have struggled. Now, LeBron and AD have been out, but, they beat the Celtics in Boston with that team, and somehow they're still a 4.5-point dog. I don't think the Lakers are going to win the West, okay? But do I think they have enough to beat the way the Knicks are currently? If OG's out, and we know Julius Randle's out, I think they've got more than enough to handle the Knicks tonight. In fact, we'll probably go back and play a money line bet on them as well. But we do like the Lakers, but we're not taking the side at the moment. But we're looking, if this line goes to 5, we're definitely going to jump on. We're waiting a little bit later on today. So do make sure you check out the Google Sheets at the end of every show that we do to get a link to the ledger of all of our bets, juice we get them at, units, what book we place them at, and then obviously the result. But we do like the Lakers in this matchup. We lean that way. So we're actually, if Anthony Davis, I know they're always game time decisions. So when we put this out, sometimes these bets get voided. It happens. Not the end of the world. But Anthony Davis over 26.5 points, over 11.5 rebounds, over 41.5 par, over 1.5 blocks, and we'll also sprinkle a little on 3+ blocks. It was plus 200 on FanDuel. And then also in this game, we like DiVincenzo under 20.5 points. His point total, I thought last time, we still went over at 19.5. Now it's raised up to 20.5. The Lakers have some length at defensively. I think they can really bother DiVincenzo. So we'll take under 20.5 points, under 4.5 threes, and under 3.5 threes. So DraftKings had it at 4.5 threes at minus 150. So we hopped on that one. Then we went to the then we went to FanDuel, and it was under 3.5 threes at plus money, plus 136 at that for under 3.5 threes. So we hopped on that one as well. Austin Reeves over 13.5 points and over 1.5 threes. This becomes extremely good value, especially if LeBron or AD don't play. So Austin Reeves over 13.5 points, 1.5 threes. And then we already went over the AD stuff. So one more time, we'll get through this here on the Knicks Lakers. And like I said, we'll probably add back the Lakers in this one, but Anthony Davis over 26.5 points. DiVincenzo under 20.5 points, under 4.5 threes, under 3.5 threes. Anthony Davis over 11.5 rebounds, over 41.5 par, over 1.5 blocks. We'll also sprinkle a little bit on 3+ blocks. Austin Reeves over 13.5 points and over 1.5 threes. I think he made 7 in the last game against the Celtics, and he's still only over 1.5 at low juice. We'll take that one for sure as well. Then we'll get into next game up on the board is going to be Bucks Mavericks. Supposedly Luka going to be back tonight as the line's only 4.5. We're not going to play a side here because Luka was still game time decision or something on that one. Total at 246. It's a big total, but the way these two teams play, the game could be 300 or it could be 200. So we're staying away from side of the total at the moment. We're kind of waiting to see if Luka's going to play for sure, but we do have some Luka props in here. Just first game back, we're actually going to take a lot of unders on him. But we will take Giannis over 31.5 points as the Mavs have no interior defense, especially with Derek Lively still going to be out. So Giannis over 31.5 points, over 50.5 par. Giannis to get 1 block and then also 2+ blocks. 2+ blocks was plus 300 on FanDuel. So we want to take advantage of that. We're also going to go to Luka under 38.5 points. 38.5? I mean, during MJ, if they had point prop totals when MJ was out, we wouldn't have been betting over 38.5 with MJ that often. So Luka under the 38.5 points, under 3.5 threes, and under 59.5 par. So let's really examine that. That is a 40-point triple-double. 40, 10, and 10 gets you to 60. We're going to take the under on that 59.5 on that one for sure. So that, I understand the book is trying to, because everybody wants to bet over Luka, over Luka, over Luka, over Luka. So I understand, keep raising it here. But 59.5, you're allowing a lot of people to get back in on this one. So a 40-point triple-double is a lot. So we'll take that under 59.5 par as well. So one more time in this Bucks-Mavs game. Giannis over 31.5 points, over 50.5 par, over half a block, so 1 block, and then 2+ blocks. Luka under 38.5 points, under 3.5 threes, under 59.5 par. in that particular matchup. Last game of the night, about the same time slot. Cavs going to the Spurs. Cavs 10.5-point road favorite in San Antonio. Back-to-back game here for the Spurs. Didn't work out well for them yesterday. But we like that 10.5 number. Cavs have been they're hot right now, no question about it. But when you're talking, first of all, double-digit favorites have not fared well so far this season in the NBA, trying to cover that number. And the second part of that, 10.5 on the road, it doesn't matter if it's a crap team or not, or a team that has trouble like the Spurs do. It's still a ton of points. And then Jarrett Allen got injured last night, so looks like he's going to be back, but no certainty on that one. They still haven't figured out how to kind of play everybody together. They're still a little discombobulated when it comes to Garland being on the floor, Mobley, Jarrett Allen, and Donovan Mitchell. So we'll see how that one works out. But we're going to take the Spurs tonight. Spurs +3 first quarter, +6.5 first half, +3.5 third quarter, +10.5 for the game. I mean, when you look at that, the first half was 6.5, and the third quarter is 3.5. There's your 10 right there. So you're telling me that like the fourth quarter is only a half a point? Okay. So we'll take the Spurs there. And then Wemby over 22.5 points. They brought the point total down, as he hasn't hit the point total as it's been as high as 25.5 here lately. Wemby over 1.5 threes. Wemby 3+ threes. You're getting plus money on both of those. Big money, plus 360 on 3+ threes on FanDuel. A lot of value there, I think. He can easily hit 3 threes. He did it for three games consecutively, and then 2 games he didn't. So definitely a good possibility he can hit that, and a plus 360, well worth the gamble. Wemby over 36.5 par. This number's come back down as well. Over 2.5 blocks. He's been blocking 3 shots a game without even questioning it. Wemby 5+ blocks. We're going to sprinkle some there as well. That was plus 370 on FanDuel, so he can definitely block 5 shots, especially going against. They're going to go to the middle a lot. They score a lot of points in the paint, and that's where I think Wemby can really kind of take advantage of. He just needs to stay out of foul trouble. And then over 3.5 turnovers. He's been turning the ball over a ton as well. He's a rookie, and he's like 12 foot tall, so that's going to happen. So Spurs, Cavs game one more time. Spurs +3 first quarter, +6.5 first half, +3.5 first quarter. Third quarter, +10.5 for the game. Wemby over 22.5 points, over 1.5 threes, 3+ threes, over 36.5 par, over 2.5 blocks, 5+ blocks, and over 3.5 turnovers. Now, I know we roll through these bets kind of quick. We give you a little bit of analysis, then give you all the bets. We are big volume better, so please make sure you check out the Google Sheets. It's a link in every show that we do in the comments section. It's like docs.google.spreadsheet. That'll give you a link. It'll also give you the unit difference that we do on these as well, because unit difference is going to be extremely important. So make sure you do check that out when you get some time before you place all your bets and all that good stuff to match them up there. So, and as always, if you could subscribe and get notifications to our YouTube channel, so we drop a new episode of bets, you get notified first to your phone or device. It makes life extremely simple. Once you hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on for YouTube, you're going to get that notification to your phone or device to let you know we've dropped a new episode of bets, match them up with your bets, and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.